Inside Out 2 hit many of us right in the feels, but it left me asking some big questions about what happens next. What does rebuilding the brain look like after the emotional demo? Let's talk about it. My name is Nick Bowers, and I specialize in the ages of 9 to 14, the beautiful age of tweendom and middle school. I'm one of those rare people that loves middle school and puberty. So what can the renovation project really look like, and how do we go about it? Inside Out 2 gave us an incredible look inside Bradley's brain as she hit puberty. It's like a field trip through the most complex parts of growing up. Way better than Mrs. Frizzle. We meet new, more complex emotions and watch them struggle to manage Riley's changing world. It's a perfect illustration of what every child, ages 10, 11 to 14, is going through but can't explain. I love the movie, but I also took notes because I hope parents can see some other things that our tweens might miss. Middle school is this amazing chaotic time when their brains are growing at an incredible rate. It's a roller coaster ride of awkwardness, mood swings, boredom, and confusion. But here's the kicker. This is the perfect time to help them develop crucial skills and understanding. My experience with middle schoolers started as a 5th grade teacher. Even back then, kids were hitting puberty earlier than before. And when I became a lower school principal in a K-12 school, we were losing students in the 6th grade. Why? Because middle schoolers aren't elementary kids anymore, and they're definitely not high schoolers yet. They're in this unique phase that needs a special approach. This is when their brains are still developing in ways similar to a kindergartner. Why is middle school so important? Because it's a time when the brain is still under construction. Like a renovation project, decision-making, impulse control, and risk assessment are all being built. Think of it like a brain renovation project. So if we focus on the process of learning and development during these years, we're setting them up for success in high school and beyond. Here are a few quick facts that we need to look at. The adolescent brain is still developing, affecting decision-making and impulse control. This is why middle school is the best time to teach these skills. It's like putting in the new wiring, the new appliances in a renovation. Overprotecting teens can hinder their growth. Let them take good risks to help their brain wiring. Teens process emotions and logic differently. The prefrontal cortex, the part that controls judgment, is the last to mature, and it happens around 24, 25. Teens are more influenced by immediate rewards and less by long-term consequences. They need guidance to balance risks and growth. This is the beautiful part. Teen brains are highly adaptable, and their experiences shape their future behaviors. Positive challenges are crucial for building resilience. In Inside Out 2, it shows how emotions grow first because the back of the brain grows before the front. This means their emotional regulation skills are still in development. And what's missing in the movie is the role that parents play in helping these grow. Parents, you have a huge role in guiding this growth. I want you to take a look at this. This is a 12-year-old brain versus a 16-year-old brain. Look at the difference between a 12-year-old brain and a 16-year-old brain. At 12, their brains are still in the midst of rapid growth, particularly in the back regions responsible for sensory and emotional responses. By 16, the front part of the brain, particularly the prefrontal cortex, responsible for decision-making, planning, and self-control, is more developed, but it's still not completely matured. But there's a huge difference. All of this development is happening because of what we put into their brain, from thinking processes to habits. This is what I have found. When we do not put those good skills in during this critical time between 12 and 16, when we don't put those critical skills in, kids develop their own skills one way or the other. But usually what happens is they're not the best skills for the harder tasks that they're going to need. So usually they have to unlearn and relearn, and that creates more stress that your child doesn't need, nor do you. Because of the fast brain development but low stakes of middle school, we build the foundation just like Bob the Builder. We practice emotional regulation, critical thinking, social skills, abstract thinking, and complex reasoning, also establishing routines and study habits at this time when the stakes are very low. Every tween needs to learn to manage themselves and then also learning to manage themselves with others. This takes 10 years of practice. They take the skills they learned and they practice independently in high school. They get better, just like an instrument or sport. It takes 10 years of practice. Whether they go to college or they work, then their brain's maturing and they can specialize and focus on a variety of different things. Learn the skills in middle school, practice the skills in high school, apply the skills in college. So many parents and educators want quick fixes for tweens. Just stop being annoying. Grow up. Be respectful. Make good decisions. But here's the thing. Kids need to know how to do these things. They're not born with these skills. They may have learned them, but now they have to learn them with a more complex brain, just like you would learn any new skill. So imagine you're learning something new. Imagine you came to me and said, Nick, I want to start lifting weights or run a marathon or learn a new hobby. What would we do first? We wouldn't just jump in and expect you to be an expert right away. We'd break it down into small, manageable steps. We'd talk about the proper techniques, the importance of consistency, and how to build up your skills over time. So if you were going to learn to lift or run a marathon, you don't start with the heaviest weights, right? Or the longest distances. You begin with lighter ones and you build your strength and your form. Running a marathon isn't about sprinting from the start. It's about endurance, pacing yourself, and slowly increasing your mileage over time. You follow a training plan, build up your stamina, and celebrate small victories along the way. So that's what we need to do with our tweens, right? Let's think about and compare how a preteen's brain works. Their brain is going through a massive renovation. So imagine if you had to relearn how to walk, talk, and think because your brain and body are essentially under construction. It's a lot like an adult learning to lift or run a marathon. It takes time, effort, and patience. Just like you need to learn each step in weightlifting or marathon training, tweens need to learn how to manage their emotions, make decisions, and communicate effectively. They're learning how to use their prefrontal cortex, which is the part of the brain responsible for planning, decision-making, and self-control. And as their brains are still developing, they still need, but will not want, your guidance. I like to look at it like this. Elementary school, I do. Middle school, we do. High school, I pull back and you do. You need to be their prefrontal cortex. In this phase, you, as parents and educators, are their prefrontal cortex. You're helping them learn the small steps of emotional regulation, decision-making, and communication. It's like you're their coach, guiding them through each exercise, helping them build good habits and good skills. When you're teaching them how to be respectful, make good decisions, or manage their time, think of it as teaching them a new set of weights or how to run a little bit further each day. It's definitely a marathon. The future goal is to help them develop these skills now so they don't have to cram it all in later. Think about it. If you skip the foundational steps in training, you end up with injuries or setbacks. Same thing, if we don't help tweens build their foundational skills now, they'll struggle with more significant challenges in high school and adulthood. There's a hole there, and we can't miss out. Imagine if you ignored all the training for a marathon and you tried to run 26.2 miles on your first day. It would be overwhelming and probably result in a lot of pain and frustration. That's what happens in high school when we don't do these things. When we overprotect our kids, avoid difficult conversations, hope that it'll just get better miraculously, prioritize short-term comfort over long-term growth, and feel uncomfortable discussing emotions or social topics, we are not setting them up for success. We are pushing all of those skills into high school, which causes even more stress. The same goes for our tweens. They need time, practice, and support to grow these skills gradually. This way, by the time they face more significant challenges, AP classes, they're ready and confident, having built the necessary resilience and knowledge over time. What happens if you ignore middle school? Well, you're setting yourself up for a lot of stress in high school. It's like leaving outdated plumbing in a house renovation. You have to build the foundations now, even if it's messy. It's going to be worth it in the long run. Let's stop overlooking the importance of middle school. Let's help our tweens build the skills they need to thrive. Be involved, be honest, and guide them through this time. It's a journey worth taking, and it's up to us to make it count. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more insights on parenting through the tween years, and you know it. Let's do middle school together.